Today we're going to look at integers, order of operations. The first problems. So first thing we need to know, in order to get there, we need to make sure we know the number line, right? So the first example is asking you to graph number line. So number line you have in the middle 0. On the right will be positive, and every time you go onto the right side, the number becomes larger. So right side of the number line is always larger. And left side will be smaller. So if I wanted to mark -3 on the number line, I will have here, right there. This is going to be A, -3. B, where is 4? Right here. That's the 4. 0 will be right there. So don't forget your right side of the graph is always greater than the left side. 4 is greater than 3. 0 is greater than -1. -4 is greater than -5. Always right side is bigger than the left side in the number line. The example 2 is asking you to write less than or greater than between these two numbers to make the statement true. So if we have 14 verse 3, obviously we know the bigger number is larger, right? So this is going to be 14 greater than 3. What about if we have -1 and -5? Remember, right side is bigger. So number line, -1 is here, -5 is there. So right side is bigger, so -1 will be bigger. -1 is greater than -1 is how you read this. And if you wanted to compare -5 with +1, always positive number greater than negative numbers. And you read as -5 less than 1. The next problem, we wanted to find the value of absolute value. This one, I have absolute of -3. So if you have a sign inside absolute value, it disappears. Why is it? Because absolute value means what's the distance from 0 to this number. And obviously we know that distance is going to be positive. So distance from 0 to -3. That's 1, 2, 3. So that's going to be 3. So the next question is asking, what's the distance from 0 to 5? So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? That's how it works. Getting rid of the negative inside of absolute values. But if you have a negative outside of absolute, that will just stay. So this negative right here will stay as, but then inside of negative absolute value, negative is going to be disappear, because what this part is asking is, what's the distance from 0 to -5? So that will be +5. And because you had negative ahead of time, so it will become -5. Example 4, they're asking to subtract. So if I have double signs between two numbers, first thing I wanted to do is always trying to make it one sign between. So I have minus negative number, right? When you get double negative, it becomes positive. So this problem changed to 17 plus 11. Once you only have one sign between numbers, then if the signs are same, add them. If signs are different, subtract them. So this number is positive 17. This number is also positive, positive, positive. So you're adding this number and your solution will be positive. So that becomes 28. Let's try that one more time. So change this to have one sign will be minus 18 plus 5. 18 is negative, 5 is positive, so there's different sign. So what I need to do is bigger number minus smaller number. So 18 minus 5 will be 13. Copy the sign from the bigger number, which is negative. Let's see, the next one. That next one, I already have only one sign. This sign right here, 18 is positive, 5 is negative, which is the different sign. So you subtract, 18 is bigger. So 18 minus 5 is going to be 13. And sign from the bigger number. 18 is bigger number, sign is positive. So your solution sign is positive. The next problem, I have negative 14 minus negative 10. So again, I see the two signs right here between number. So I'm going to change that to one sign. And these two have different signs. So subtract 14 minus 10, 4. Copy, sign from the bigger number, negative. And this is how I do my subtractions. There are many different ways of doing it, but I like doing this way. Example 5, they want us to evaluate this. So evaluating exponents, you have a square. Square means that you're multiplying base 2 times. When you have a parenthesis, it means your base is the number with sign included. So this means basically multiply negative 6 twice, which you get positive 36. When you're multiplying negative even number of time, that it become positive. Because I had 2 negative, your solution become positive. But when you're looking at the next problem, this one is not positive 36 because this square only applies to the number, not the sign when you don't have a parenthesis. So this one means you're only squaring 6. So it'll be 6 times 6, right? Negative is negative by itself, and they're asking you to do 6 times 6. So this means negative 36. And this is very important. So whenever you see exponents without the parenthesis, do not square the signs. That goes same thing with the cubic or any power that's higher. So this means without the parenthesis, so it will be negative, but multiplying only 2 3 times, which will give you negative 8. This one, you're multiplying negative 3 times because you do have parentheses. That gives you 27 negative. Because these two negative make it positive, but you also have one more negative. So it will be negative 27. Example 6, we wanted to find the quotients. So basically we wanted to do dividing. Dividing works same as multiplication. So if you see 1 negative will be negative, 2 negative will be positive. Odd number of negative is negative. Even number of negative is positive. So this problem right here, you only have 1 negative. So your solution will be negative. And 40 divided by 5 will be 8. This problem right here, I see 2 negative, 1, 2. So my solution will be positive. 3 goes into 66, 22 times, right? This one right here, if I have a 0 on the numerator, when I have a 0 on the numerator, which is top of the fraction, then this is going to be equals to 0. Very important to remember. But when you have a 0 on the bottom denominator, this becomes undefined. Make sure the difference between 0 solution with undefined solutions. Undefined solution means there is no solutions. Example 7, now we're going to do order of operations. Now we know everything that we need to know about order of operations. So when we're doing order of operations, remember the first thing we need to do is always the parentheses or exponents. This is sign of exponents if you're using calculator, right? And whichever inside, that's the step 1. Second, you're going to do multiplications and divisions. And this order is going to be whichever on the left side first. So if you have the divisions on the left side, then multiplications, then you're going to do division first. So whichever it's on the left side first. And then third, you're going to do additions, subtractions, again, whichever on the left side first between these two. Okay, so that's the option we're going to use. So let's look. This one right here, no parenthesis, but I do see exponents, so I will do exponent first. So 6 squared become 36. And 2 squared will be 4. In the beginning, you wanted to get used to writing down everything, trying to not to skip step, because that's when I see that people are making more mistakes. Okay. Once you get to used to it and you start not making mistake, then you can maybe skip few steps. But first, do not skip them. Once you get that, and then now we're going to look at multiplication and divisions. Look like I have division here and multiplication here. So whichever comes on the left first, so I will do this one, right? Division first. So then 36 minus 24 divided by 4. That's going to be 6. And times 3 plus 1. Now we do multiplications. So that will be 36. And minus 6 times 3. Negative 6 times 3 will be negative 18 plus 1. I have subtraction, adding and subtracting remaining, but subtraction is on the left side, so we do the subtraction first. 36 minus 18. And plus 1, which will be 19. Next problem, we have exponents and parentheses. Whichever inside first. Looks like we have a parenthesis inside of square, so we will do that one first. And maybe I can do the first exponent at the same time. So negative 6 squared is positive 36. 5 minus 7 is negative 2. And times negative 3. This gives you 36 minus negative 2 squared is going to be positive 4 times negative 3. I have multiplications and subtractions, so obviously I do the multiplications next. So negative 4 times negative 3, that will make it positive 12. And I do the additions, which is going to be 48. let's try one last one for the order of operation. So this one I have not only parenthesis, I have bracket, but they work same, but you need to work inside out. So you wanted to do 7 minus 12 first. Because this is separated from that parentheses, I can maybe do that at the same time. So I will have 30 divided by 25 divided by 7 minus 12, which is going to be negative 5. And write it into the one sign, right? So it will be minus negative number is going to be plus 9. And then I do the next parenthesis, which is going to be bracket, right? So you see 25 divided by negative 5. Because you have one negative, whatever that number is going to be is negative value. 25 divided by 5 is 5. So I have 30 divided by negative 5 plus 9. And then you need to do division before additions. So I know obviously that value is going to be negative. Once you decide your sign, then don't worry about the sign. Then you just do the division. 30 divided by 5, that's going to be 6. Plus 9, which is going to be positive 3 for that problem.